Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. Your host is Charlie, the country conservative. Now on with the show.
What you're about to hear has never been released to the public. This voicemail was left on the Project Veritas tip line on September 3rd, 2020, which led our journalists to investigate the matter of Ashley Biden's diary, thrusting us into a pivotal moment of history for all of press freedom.
Hi there, I'm calling from Florida. My family, their friend who owns a house down here in Palm Beach, was renting it out. I don't know how, but this is a while back. But anyway, a new renter moved in, and Ashley Biden was staying in this room, and they found her diary, all of her clothes, luggage, pills. Anyway, diary is pretty crazy. I think it's worth taking a look at. It's not a joke. It's real. And I'd love to get it into your hands.
Hi, is this Ashley Biden?
This is she. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I just wanted, so I heard you have a few of my belongings. And so I was going to ask if you could please meet my friend, Eric, who is down in Del Rey, if you could meet him and get this up to him.
There's a diary here. It starts in January. It says, January at the end of a New York month, I'm sitting on a bed at the I building.
Yeah, so if you could just give everything that you have to Eric, that would be really great. I
don't want to give this to the wrong person. I mean, I want to make sure
at this point, and I don't mean to. I don't want to have to get Secret Service involved in this, right? Because it's a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I am Ashley Biden. It is my stuff. So if you could just give all of that over, I would really appreciate it. I know you sent a picture to my husband with a camera and
mm-hmm.
a few other things that are mine as well. So that would be really great. Where is a good place for him to meet you?
There's also this bag with luggage tags on it, and so is that bag, because there's all this stuff, is that bag yours too, Ashley?
Yeah, it is.
Hear me now? I want to fix something here. Can you hear me, Brendan? Now, can you hear my voice now? Okay, now, had a little difficulty there. If you guys can't hear me, let me know in the comment section. Thank you, Brendan. But now that's the first one of the videos. Now, I want to show you this that proves that was her diary and stuff. Now, the next video shows how you were treated by Biden administration and the corrupt DOJ if they don't like something that you did. And this is against the media company Project Veritas and what happens to them because they bought this legally. And this is what happens when the Biden administration and the corrupt DOJ doesn't like what you're doing. So watch this one. It's not as long. It's about a minute and a half.
Shortly after the phone call, this October 16th letter was sent from Project Veritas to Joe Biden's presidential campaign, asking the candidate for comment. October 23rd, a follow-up email from our then chief legal officer. And on October 29th, 2020, Ashley Biden's attorney, Roberta Kaplan, finally responded saying, quote, "This is insane. We should send to the SDNY." This is the FBI splash page showing the SDNY immediately open an investigation into Project Veritas on the very same day. And on November 8th, 2020, Project Veritas returns all Ashley Biden's abandoned items, including her diary, to Florida local law enforcement. You're watching Pre-Dawn Raids by the FBI on 3 Project Veritas journalists. They took place on November 4th and November 6th of 2021.
I'm sorry, so what is this regarding?
This is the search warrant. Open up.
Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. My hand's on.
No, what I'm trying to say here is within your right to. Just once again, for our safety and for yours, we're going to have an agent sit with you.
Yeah.
You do not have to speak to them. You're not being detained. All right. That was just a question for our safety. Yeah, we're supposed to see. Okay, there's a computer here. Computer share? Yeah, there's power. Are you comfortable on that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So there's another team coming up? Yeah. So maybe we'll split up into like areas of the house.
Now, this is what you get when you do something to Biden and the corrupt DOJ. If you're a Republican or a conservative news outlet like Project Veritas is. Now, I've got 3 tweets here from X, Twitter. Now, the first one shows a page, if you can see that up there, and I'm going to bring it up here so I can tell you about it. Now, this is a page from her diary that you guys probably seen all over Twitter. And the first one's up there in the red circle, and it says, "Was I molested?" Question mark. Was I molested? She doesn't even know if she was molested, probably because she was so young. And then at the bottom, at a young age, showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. Well, you think? That was definitely not appropriate. But now we're going to get back to the judge's remarks before I move on to the other 2 tweets about her saying that the woman that stole this diary, her behavior was despicable, but she doesn't say anything about Joe Biden's action about showering with his daughter. Nobody says anything about Joe Biden sniffing little kids on camera right in front of our faces multiple times, touching and feeling women, playing with little girls' hair. All you have to do is watch the TV, and he does it every time he's on camera and he's around a group of people that have children. And he blatantly does this stuff. And now we find out he showers with his daughter. You know, this has been going on for a while, but there's the proof right there. She doesn't deny if it's not her diary. It's disgusting. Now, I got another email here. And the first one is, if you guys ever watched the Hodges twins, and they say exactly what I've been saying and what I've just said. It's crazy how the media talks about the lady that took Ashley Biden's diary, but doesn't bring up that she wrote about inappropriate showers with her dad, Joe Biden, and questions if she was molested or not. That is a shame. That's a good question, though, huh? Too bad if the lame news media won't cover this kind of stuff, because they're corrupt and they're hiding everything that Joe Biden does. It's pathetic. Now, what I say about if you're a Republican or a Democrat or anything like that, that if you do something against the Bidens, this is why you get paid. But this guy here on the right, this guy, you see his Josh Dunlap, arrested 8 times so far in 2024 for selling drugs, possessing guns, domestic violence, and grand theft. He's currently free on bail, but the woman on the left is the one that sold Ashley Biden's shower diary, and she is sentenced to a month in prison. Isn't that a bitch? Now, do you guys find that a little bit concerning? I do. This is what we're seeing out of Joe Biden and the Biden crime syndicate family, you know. And this is why we have to get stuff stopped come November 5th. We have to vote Republican. This stuff is out of control, and the wrong people are going to jail. And we need to start holding people accountable, especially when you see Joe Biden sniffing kids or touching women. Can't remember what day it is. He don't even know how to get off a stage when he's walking, and he has to be directed by people to help him off of the stage, which he could barely walk in the first place. But that's okay. Nothing the fake news won't cover it, because they'll cover it up for him. We're all just conspiracy theorists, and we're just making this stuff up. Sorry, but you can't make this shit up. It's live on camera. So I'm tired of hearing it and tired of seeing the cover up for this demented old fool who stole the White House. You know, and of course, can't say that either because you'll end up in the pokey just like they're trying to do to President Trump. Got a lot of different stuff here trying to get things changed. Where's that at? I missed that one too. Yep, I did. I missed another one here. But I was talking to you about Joe Biden controlling fact checkers. And yet he did. Biden pressured Snoops to change its fact checking rating on a rumored gas stove ban. This is just like him and the DOJ and everybody controlling social media to censor us. And trust me, I've been censored a lot. I've been in Facebook jail so many times, it's unbelievable. I was banned lifetime from the commie place TikTok. I was actually banned for life until I opened another one up. I don't really care. But there's so many things that you can't say anymore that they still are colluding with the social media sites to cover up everything that goes on in this government right now. So let me get down through here now. The watchdog group says that CBSC is using sympathetic media to censor inconvenient news. Biden administration officially successfully pressured fact-checking website Snoops to alter its rating on a fact check that it conducted regarding a potential federal ban on gas stoves, according to internal communications. In early 2023, Snoops issued a mixed rating on the claim that Biden administration was considering a ban on gas stoves, citing comments made by a senior official overseeing product regulations. Shortly before the fact check, Richard Trumka got a member of the Consumer Product Safety Commission, said such a ban was on the table a month earlier. But Trumka said regulating gas stove needs to be a priority, whether it's drastically reduced emissions or banning gas stoves entirely because of their climate and health impacts. How long has big gas stoves been around? Forever. Longer than I've been alive, that's for sure. This is just another way that they are showing you that they want to control every aspect of your life. And if we don't act now, it's just going to get worse. If we let them win in November, that digital dollar is going to come out. This ban on this, the ban on gas vehicles, they're going to do it all. And it's going to be nothing but a dictatorship, worse than what it already is. They're going to run your whole bank account, so you're never going to know when your dollars, how much money you have in there, because if they fine you for something, if you get a speeding ticket or something like that, they're going to automatically take that money out of your account. And they're not going to wait for a ticket and here you go, send it in. And no, they're going to take it automatically. And if they start finding people for like having a gas stove or having a gas vehicle or something like that, they're going to take their money as soon as they can take it out of your account. They don't get it, they'll freeze your account. And it's definitely not a conspiracy theory. This is what happens in China. And that is exactly what's going to happen here if we don't do something come November. If I'm way off, you guys let me know in chat. But I don't think I am. I think I'm dead on. But don't forget to let me know what's going on in the chat, how you like the show. Don't forget to follow me, Country Conservative on Rumble, and Brendan at Brendan's Statler Show here on Rumble also. Check out the videos, share them. I'm not making my short videos right now because I'm doing this every day. But we'll see what's going on. We're going to go every weekday or weeknight, 6 p.m. Please join us. Tell your friends and family, please join us. And Brendan will be back tomorrow. I see that he's saying that he'll be back tomorrow. So we never know what we're going to get into tomorrow, but I do have a lot of stuff lined up. So we'll see what's going to happen here. What do we got here? That's that one already. Okay, now here's a good one that's been coming out now. The FBI has been exposed about January 6th, and I'm losing my chat here. I gotta turn it back on. My tablet went to sleep. Make sure I'm caught up here. But they've been exposed for their involvement by a CIA officer, a contractor actually, a contracting officer with a Central Intelligence Agency. There's no intelligence with them. Recently told an undercover journalist that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, where is that? Right there. They recently told the undercover journalist the FBI agents were present during the storming of the United States Capitol on January 6th. In a new video recorded by an undercover journalist from Sound Investigation, Gavin O'Blennis claimed to be a contracting officer for the CIA who formerly worked for the FBI. The governor officer was secretly recorded telling the undercover journalist that approximately 20 undercover FBI agents were located throughout the crowd during the January 6th protest on Capitol Hill. Now, when you watch the hearings like I did, I watched most of them, but when they were questioning Christopher Wray, the director, and they were saying that there could have been more than 200 either FBI agents or informants or something of theirs in the crowd that day. And they were egging people on to go into the Capitol. They're asked to confirm whether the FBI agents were in the crowd on January 6th. O'Blennis told the undercover journalist, there are always on big protests like that, just in case it gets out of hand, something like that. Now, I'm going to let you watch this video, the secret video where he was recorded telling us in his own words, so you could see, I'm not lying, it's coming from his own mouth. This is only about a minute long, so watch this.
I thought you said that there were FBI agents in the crowd at J6.
There always are when there's a big protest in DC, just in case it gets out of hand like that. There wasn't enough to turn that tide. I mean, I'm talking they maybe have 20. You needed 1,000 to get rid of that crowd.
So they had like, that was just 20?
Yeah, just to go through and observe and see what they can hear, that kind of thing.
Wow, definitely they needed 1,000 at least.
Well, see, that's also Capitol Police jurisdiction. They're in charge.
So
why they didn't have more on hand, I don't know.
The Bureau didn't really want people knowing that they were in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be overstepping their bounds.
A little bit.
Do people know that?
What?
Did people know that the Bureau was in the crowd?
Nope, and probably never will.
You know agents that were there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. The agency knew.
Now this is stuff that we've known for quite some time now, but now we've got stuff to back it up, like with this guy, because every time that they interviewed Christopher Wray, he lied. He lied in front of the Judiciary Committee and everywhere else. But he's an FBI agent. They're trained to lie. And they caught him lying over and over again because the man can't give a straight answer. But now, according to Christopher Wray, he previously told Congress that he was not sure that there was undercover agents in the scene. And that was during one of the interviews that I did watch. But he was pressed about the matter by Representative Andy Biggs, a Republican from Arizona. Wray added, I do not believe that there were undercover agents on the scene. And I saw this for myself on that hearing. That's exactly what he said. But if there was no agents in that crowd, he could have easily said, no, there were no FBI agents in that crowd. But he did not say that. So right there that he was lying. This just goes to prove that the January 6th Capitol riot, or it wasn't even a riot, the attack was planned by the corrupt DOJ, FBI. There's no doubt about it. If you guys think any differently, please let me know in chat, because it's just funny how one side of the Capitol, when you watch the videos, they were all fighting and everything like that. But then you go to the Trump side, people were just peacefully standing there and raising up and chanting and stuff like that. Nobody was attacking anybody. But these fake news media people pick and choose the videos that they want to show you to get these liberal sheep behind them and thinking it's, oh, well, we got to get these Trumpers out of there, and they're crazy and they're violent and all that. It makes me sick to see this every time we turn around. So that's why Brendan and I do these videos, because of that reason, because we can't get our voices out there on like Channel 4, ABC, CBS, NBC, the primetime networks. They're all liberal fake news idiots. And that's what everybody watches. So it goes to tell idiot liberals, sheep, believe this stuff. That's the reason why, because they watch these people. So we're trying to do our part in doing these videos and these live streams now to get the word out to people. That's why we ask you to share our videos. You can share this after my live stream's over with. Share them with your friends and family. We got to get more people in here. We got to get more people to follow us. We're streaming. We stream on 6 different platforms. We're streaming on Rumble. That's our main platform. And YouTube, Locals, Twitch, Facebook, and X. We stream live on all of them. I was trying to do Wimpkin also, and that commie site TikTok, but I can't get it to work through Rumble Studios. But with the 6 that we got going, we should be able to get our words out to people and get people to realize and to wake up how important this election is coming up. I don't even think there's been this big of an election in my lifetime. I'm 56 years old. I've been through a few elections, and and believe it or not, I was a Democrat. I was a Democrat for 38 years. And when you get screwed over by the Democrats and see what they're doing, and you finally wake up, that's what happens. And I just can't even believe I was a Democrat, but I was. And this is what you get when you look at Democrats now. It takes something to open your eyes to see the truth of how bad and corrupt the Democrat Party is. So now let's move on to Mayorkas and the southern border crisis. Now, I wasn't going to do this because I've done it so many times in the past, but this is over Mayorkas's impeachment. He's already been impeached once through the House. Now you got Senator Thooms to Newsmax. The Senate trial on Mayorkas is a must, he says. And of course, you all know that the Democrats don't want that to happen. It's all about the southern border. And I've talked about this so many times in the past couple podcasts. All those Senate Democrats are trying to short circuit the impeachment trial of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. I just love saying that. That sounds so stupid. But Alejandro Mayorkas and Senator Thune made a case on Tuesday for a trial to take place. We think that the Senate ought to examine the evidence. They ought to consider the merits of the argument made by the House. Now I'm going to play this video for you from Senator Thune, where there needs to be some accountability. And he says it exactly what we are thinking. So listen to this.
Well, the Senate expects very shortly to receive articles of impeachment from the House of Representatives for Alejandro Mayorkas. In my view, the Senate should conduct a trial. I think it's clear that this administration, President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas, have presided over the worst border crisis in American history. 7.4 million people apprehended in just 3 years in office. 1.8 million got away, so over 9 million people that have been come into the country illegally, and that doesn't include the unknown gotaways. And of course, we know on that list were 351 people who are on the terrorist watch list. This is an absolute debacle at the southern border. It is a national security crisis. There needs to be accountability, and the Senate needs to conduct a trial where senators have an opportunity to examine the evidence, examine the record, and come to a conclusion. The American people deserve accountability on this issue. The polls show that the majority of Americans support impeaching Secretary Mayorkas, and I believe it is fundamental to our role as United States senators to conduct a trial, to get the evidence out there, and to come to a conclusion one way or the other. And that is our intention as Republican senators. And we look forward to receiving the articles of impeachment from the House of Representatives sometime soon.
Now, the Senate has held a trial in all but one case of impeachment. In 1873, U.S. District Court Judge Mark Delahaye of Kansas, appointed by Abraham Lincoln, was impeached on charges of being intoxicated on the bench. But Delahaye resigned before the House could bring up articles of impeachment, so there was no trial held. But now, where do you go from here? You go to the Senate, right? Well, Mayorkas' impeachment trial was set to start next week, but it may be over before it starts. The Democrats want to dismiss the impeachment altogether. But of course they do, because he's a Democrat, and they're not going to impeach a Democrat. If he was Republican, they'd be forcing that vote through, because the Grand Wizard, Chuck Schumer, is mustering up a simple majority of Democrats that could dismiss the trial outright or move it to table the impeachment, ending the House efforts and allowing the Senate to move on to other business, to spend more money, is what he's talking about, because they don't feel that securing our country is important. All they're worried about is money going into their pocket, spending money, raising our inflation, raising our deficit. That's all these idiots are worried about, and getting us into more wars. That is what the Democrats do best. Now, if they do this, that will show how corrupt the Democrat Party is, and show how they don't give two shits about you and I. Now, if you think the Democrats can care about you, let me know in chat, because I want to know who to look at like an idiot they would be. Because the Democrats, and you know what, most of the Republicans don't care. Politicians in general don't care, unless it's election time. And then they love everybody. Everybody comes out of the work. We love you as long as you vote for us. But as soon as you don't vote for them, we don't love you long time no more. And get rid of you, Mayorkas. Now, you guys have all heard about the NPR. NPR senior editor says the outlet employs 87 Democrats in the editorial positions and 0 Republican in their DC newsroom. Now, for those of you that don't know what NPR is, it's the national public radio station. It's an American nonprofit media organization headquartered in DC. And they are a tax-funded radio stations on top of member radio stations and stuff like that. But they are a tax-funded business. Now the government is using them for their own bidding to put out their narratives, the fake, false narratives. And they used to be a respected news station. But now when you get a senior editor sitting there blowing the whistle on them, there's a problem. So when you only hire Democrats to do your biased work for you there, senior editor Yuri Berliner highlighted a striking partisan disparity within the network, revealing that the 87 registered Democrats hold editorial positions at NPR's Washington, D.C. headquarters. There are 0 Republicans in similar roles around this company. Berliner, who admits to leaning left himself, penned a scathing critique on NPR's news station, denouncing what he sees as a refusal to address the diversity problem within the organization. Now, we got a tweet here from Gunther Eagleman about this. And it says NPR is a liberal propaganda shit show and should be shut down. Now we got another tweet here from Jesse Waters. And Jesse Waters, just as NPR tax funded news organization, used to be a trusted, but now they have gone rogue. And one senior editor, a classic liberal, says NPR corrupted itself in 2016, and he admits NPR coped with Hillary's loss by getting into bed with Adam Schiff. And I don't have that video that they said they have, but I do have the video that Vivek Ramaswamy gives his opinion on it. And that's a little bit lengthy, but not that bad. But I want you guys to listen to what he has to say about this.
In the name of diversity, they've eliminated diversity of thought. And in the name of inclusion, they've created this culture of exclusion where certain points of view representing over 50% of the population in this country just aren't welcome. But on the positive side, Jesse, I want to say that took a lot of courage for that reporter, this guy, Yuri Berliner. I want to congratulate him. As a guy who probably disagrees with him on the substance of a lot of political issues, I still respect his willingness to come out and tell the truth. That takes courage. And I think NPR could take a page from his playbook if they look their own audience in the eye and say, we lied to you about the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, Hunter Biden laptop. We're sorry about it, and here's what we're going to do to fix it. That's how NPR could have re-earned its trust. It's too bad the management squandered that opportunity.
You know how brave this guy is? He's still working at NPR. He still walks into the newsroom. He's just come out with this huge interview, this big piece, and he's just going to work like everything's fine. That takes courage.
And I respect the heck out of that, Jesse. And you know what? Our founding fathers, they had courage. What I found today is in America, you've traveled this country, people have common sense. Most people behind closed doors, probably even at NPR, believe what this man does. Americans don't lack for common sense. We lack for courage. And I think this man, despite being on the left, showed some courage in his move in this reporting today. And I think that whether you're on the left or right, when you're the only person in a room who believes what you do, you have an obligation to stand up and say it. And this guy did just that.
Well said, Vivek Ramaswamy. Always well said when Vivek's on. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Now, I'll bet you nothing's going to happen about this because in the Biden administration pushes for that diversity, equity, inclusion bullshit, but nothing ever happens. Why? Because they're Democrats and they do their bidding for them. But let me know what you guys think. Leave it in chat if you're tired of seeing things not being done, nobody being held accountable for their actions. And I let Jim Jordan know that from the House Judiciary Committee today again twice, because they keep saying every time he's posting something, we might have to do something. I'm tired of hearing might having to do something. We need to do something. We need some action. We need to see people being held accountable. The only thing they've gotten done is the House impeached Mayorkas in 3.5 years. That's all they've got done. What else have they done? Held hearings, over hearings, done investigations, sent letters out for paperwork that they wanted. And the people around looked at them and said, kiss my ass. We're not sending you nothing. And what do? Okay, we're not doing nothing. This is what I'm sick of. I'm sick of the non-action. And the Republican Party wants to sound all tough and bad, but they're not. They're weak. And the Democrats are running all over them, and we've got to get it together. Come November, if we don't have it together, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose this country. That is the bad part. And lastly, just this, I had to throw this out here because it's been a big deal about this abortion stuff. And New York is the most pathetic place on top of right behind California, I guess, but they're pretty running close neck and neck. But so much for Hochul's offer of safe harbor for abortion seeking Floridians. Did you guys see this at all? Oh, yeah. If you didn't already know, Florida is among a growing number of states putting some pretty strict restrictions on abortion. Just as unsurprisingly, New York liberal governor has now promised to be a safe harbor for Floridian women seeking such a procedure. Go figure, from a pro-murder liberal like her. The invitation came Monday evening, just hours after the Florida Supreme Court ruled that abortion should continue to be banned in the whole state, for women after 15 weeks of pregnancy, the time at which it is believed that the unborn baby can feel and begin to feel pain. This in itself is rather influential and a huge win for pro-life movement in Florida. But it also means that other abortion law, and even more restrictive ones, can now go into effect. As a Tampa Bay Times reporter, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law on April the 23rd that made abortions after 6 weeks of gestation illegal. Now, to be clear, that the law does not make a number of exceptions, including pregnancies that are a result of a rape, incest, or human trafficking. But this bitch needs to focus on New York and the high rising crime because of illegal criminals, which they're getting $1 million a week, I believe they said. These high-rise hotels, luxury hotels that are housing these illegal criminals that have entered our country illegally through the southern border, and that she made her state a safe harbor for them, but they want to cry about all the money they're spending, and she needs to worry about that and not worry about murdering babies, because you're getting assaults. Women can't even walk down the streets without being assaulted, just punched in the face for no reason at all. You're getting cops attacked and killed for no reason at all, just because they want to rob people, they want to steal, they think all Americans are rich. They want to turn our country into a third world country, and it's all thanks to Joe Biden. Period. And if you should think it's any differently, you're an idiot, because it is. It's all because of Joe Biden. But did you see there's one article in there that I saw earlier that there's a school district in New York that might be closing its doors because of budget issues. Now, if this twit was any kind of a governor, they would be making or spending more money on their schools to educate the children there, instead of worrying about these illegal criminals that all they do is commit crimes when you're giving them gift cards and go buy food and cell phones and free places to stay and clothes and everything like that. You should be educating the American citizen children and not worrying about these people. There was another article I seen earlier that Chicago, was it Chicago? No, it was Denver, that was asking the illegal immigrants that showed up there. I think they got over 40,000 now. They're asking them to go to New York and Chicago because there's better opportunities there for them. And they had a bus there to load them up and carry them away. Now, this is what you get when you have these idiot liberal states, these blue states, that want to make sanctuary states out of them for these illegal immigrants. But now that they're here, they want to get rid of them. They're kicking people out of their houses and to put illegal immigrants in there. They're asking you to open your door and let an illegal criminal into your house. Would any of you out there let an illegal criminal that they don't even know who these people are in the first place? They don't even vet them. The 90% of them are criminals, true criminals, that they were released from their prisons in the other countries or a mental institution to come over here to get them out of their hair. Would you let them into your house? Go to work. Go ahead. No problem. I got you. When you come home, every bit of your shit's going to be gone. That is the problem with this country. That is why we need to get this country back come November. So please keep an eye on here. We'll be here weekdays at 6 every night. Maybe starting. We got one more week of it. And if it picks up, we're going to stay at every day of a week. If not, we're going to probably kind of cut back to 3 days a week. But we're still going to try to put our word out. We're still going to cover the primary elections all the way up to general election. So please, again, go to my Rumble page. If you're not on Rumble right now, Country Conservative, follow me. Give me that thumbs up on Rumble, please. And go to Brendan Statler, the Brendan Statler Show here on Rumble. I'm also on YouTube. You can go to Country Conservative 1776 and subscribe to me on there, like and everything, whatever it has to do, and whatever you get your podcast from. Check them out. Share my videos after we're done here on live. Get our word out. We have to get more viewers on here to get a bigger, wider audience so we can get more of a view out there. But I want to thank you for joining us on this journey through the conservative landscape. Remember, truth doesn't have a political affiliation. It's simply the bedrock of our democracy. So until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, stay true to your convictions. If you enjoyed our discussion, hit that subscribe button or follow button or whatever it is where you're watching from, and share this podcast with your fellow patriots. So until tomorrow, this has been the Conservative Viewpoint, reminding you that conservatism isn't just an ideology, it's a way of life. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow.